Listen closely, because what's coming now hits where it hurts the most. The system you're part of, the world you move in, those so-called carried interest models that everyone nods along about. They're not just complicated jargon, they're walls. Massive walls built to hide an even bigger, uglier truth. Huge, yawning wealth gaps that bleed the many dry for the benefit of a few. And if you're a founder, an investor, a general partner, or someone still fighting for a piece of the pie, feeling the sting of unfairness doesn't just frustrate you, it fuels a fire that you have to blow into a disciplined, blistering blaze. Because the real pain is knowing this system was never designed to give you what you deserve. It's made to lock real value away. But here's the brutal truth. Your frustration, your rage, your restless energy, these are the keys. Not to escape the system, but to expose it, to bend it, to break free from it on your own terms. The world whispers that carried interest is fair game, that it aligns incentives between general partners and limited partners, that it's how leaders get rewarded for risk and effort. But beneath that pretty packaging is a gaping canyon where inequality thrives, hidden in opaque waterfall structures, in catch-up mechanics that benefit insiders, in fees and splits that leave founders and small investors chewing on crumbs while the elite feast. The rage you feel isn't paranoia. It's reality poking you hard and saying, look, the game is rigged. But here's the thing. You don't have to stay a victim. You don't have to accept the status quo. You can flip the system upside down. You can demand transparency that's not just a checkbox, but a relentless weapon. Right now, carried interest models cloak enormous payouts in layers of confusion, so you're blind to how deep the gaps run. Step 1. Obsessively dissect every clause in your fund agreement. If you don't understand what triggers the carried interest, how catch-up waterfalls reset, or how preferred returns actually compound, you're handing your power away. Get ruthless. Demand plain language from your legal teams. Insist on crystal clear, public reporting on all carried interest flows. No vague phrases. No hidden fees. Call it out every time one surface-level report tries to sugarcoat the truth. This brutal clarity is your shield and your weapon. Next, build alliances. Don't go solo. Connect with founders, GPS, LPS, who are fed up and ready to rewrite the playbook. Your strength isn't in titles or money alone. It's in the unbreakable network of people who see the cracks and choose to act. Share strategies openly. Find loopholes others ignore. Negotiate terms not as concessions, but as firm rights. The isolation is a trap. Break it. Then demand new incentive structures that don't reward just the few who climb to the top, while leaving everyone else on the ground starving. Advocate for models that reward true value creation, scaled performance fees based on impact, clear clawbacks if targets aren't met, profits distributed fairly across all contributors, not just partners with titles. Forget the standard setup. Create something better and dare to push it hard. Don't wait for permission. If you're in charge, tear down the walls slowly, but relentlessly. Fight for funds that only collect carried interest after all backers make their money, and at multiples that make sense, not absurd thresholds designed to pad pockets. Insist on tiered models where partners share risk and reward more evenly, not shotgun bloated profits at the top. And to those founders grinding it out, feeling squeezed by endless middlemen and layers you barely understand, take control. Learn to negotiate stakes and terms so you're not signing away your future for vague promises. Insist that carried interest aligns with your vision, not just the expectations of the big fish. It's your future on the line. You have the right and the power if you refuse to accept anything less than total transparency and fairness. But the true revolution goes beyond just numbers and contracts. It demands a new mindset. The system won't hand you freedom. It will try to process you, mold you, silence your ambition. To really change things, you have to embrace radical individuality while building brutal networks. Find those rare few who refuse to settle, who get that merit, and true value creation must live at the core, not tradition or status quo. Together, you can shatter illusions of fairness and create a new breed of partnership, one that transcends borders, backgrounds, and outdated models. One where capital doesn't protect privilege, but fuels the impossible. Where carried interest isn't a tool for hoarding wealth, but a true reward for risk and innovation shared evenly. This is about more than dollars. It's about beating a system designed to keep most people locked out. It's about reclaiming your birthright as an architect of the future, not just a pawn. If stuck systems and invisible wealth gaps make you rage, harness that fire into action. Dive deep into the numbers. Challenge rules relentlessly. Build alliances not just for power, but for truth. Create deals that force fairness into every clause, eliminate murky waterfall traps, and build funds that serve the many, not the elite. The discomfort you feel is the world calling you to wake up, to stop being fooled, to stop accepting easy lies. Don't just imagine a new reality, build it. Refuse the illusion of comfort that the current carried interest models offer for the few. Seize freedom not as a given, but as something you carve out through brutal, unflinching work. The cracks are there. The gaps are enormous. The chance to rewrite the rules is here. If that tension inside screams that you are destined for more, now is the time to act. Stop waiting. Stop hoping for crumbs, and start demanding a world where carried interest models don't hide wealth gaps, but close them. Rise, connect, fight, transcend. Your future is waiting, only if you take it.